this lesson. Teacher Katimbo Richard, teaching mathematics. Today, we are looking at a topic called time. A topic called time. As you know, time management is very, very, very important in as far as one's life is concerned. In order for one to take you as a responsible person, you must be a good time manager. So that's why it's very important then to follow strictly so that you become a good time manager. As you know, in your former class, P3, you learned about how one can take time. And now in P4, we are then going to convert from one unit to the other that regard time. One must note these facts, that 1 minute equals 60 seconds, 1 hour equals 60 minutes, 1 day is equivalent to 24 hours, 1 week is equivalent to 7 days. Then, when one talks about a fortnight, it's an equivalent of 2 weeks, which is tantamount to 14 days. And a month is composed of 4 weeks, and then a year has got 12 months. One can then talk about 10-year period, which is dubbed a decade. A decade is of 10 years, that is, and so on. You must master this, that 1 minute equals 60 seconds, 1 hour equals 60 minutes, 1 day is equivalent to 24 hours, 1 week is equivalent to 7 days, a fortnight is equivalent to 2 weeks, all a fortnight is equivalent to 14 days. And then a month has got 4 weeks, then a year has got 12 months. We are then going to convert these units you see, like an hour in terms of minutes, like a day in terms of hours, like weeks in terms for fortnights and vice versa, like months in terms of weeks and vice versa. Then one can be given months to convert to years and vice versa. This is what we are going to look at majorly today. Each example is different from the other, or converts one unit to another, rendering to be different from any other example. And which, when understood, you'll be able to answer every question concerning such conversion from that particular unit to the other. Then I beg you, P4 member, follow strictly, and then we learn how to change these time units to the others. So we shall start with number 1 that reads, Dina's baby is 24 months old. Dina's baby is 24 months old. Then the question tells you to express the baby's age in years. Like we have learned that 12 months make a year, so are we going to use that fact to convert months to years by stating months to years, so that we are sure about what we are asked to do. So do you write months to years and state the fact that 12 months are equal to 1 year. What about you say 24 months? You say 24 divided by 12 before you start your cancellations. Here, table 12 works. Table 12 works. I'll ask Arnold, how many 12s are in 24? Arnold, you must be knowing table 12. Arnold seems not to be knowing. Then, Mugwanya Kasiri? Okay, good. He says 2. So, do you cancel if you know that 2 times 12 is 24? Then you'll be able to know 24 divided by 12. You say 12 divided by 12 is once. Like Kasiri has said, 24 divided by 12 is 2. For there are 2 12s in 24. So, you say 24 months make a 2-year period. Therefore, the baby's age is 2 years. So, how old is the baby? Given that it's 24 months old, is actually 2 years old. In that way, you will be able to convert the given month to years by simply dividing the given month by that 12, and then divide accordingly to get the years. Likewise, you can be asked to change the 2 years to months. This time you do the opposite of division. Opposite of division is multiplication. So, in case you are given the baby's age in years and one asks you to answer in months, this time you say years to months. You state the other way around and say 1 year is equivalent to 12 months. What about 2 years? I say you're going to multiply 2 by 12, thereby getting 24 months back, like it's given here. So, in that way, we have learned to change months to years and vice versa. And therefore, any activity concerning that can then be answered. Then we shall then look at example number 2 that asks you to convert 31 days to hours. Convert 31 days to hours. As the fact states that that 1 day equals 24 hours, like you can just look at what we said here. 1 day equals 24 hours. What about 31 days? Here being 1, that 1 day is equivalent to 24 hours, then the 31 will bring an accumulation of days, meaning you are going to multiply by the fact you have stated here by saying 31 times 24. You are going to multiply 31 by 24 to get the number of hours in 31 days. And then do this part of work. Sometimes people say side work, but here I so called it part of work. POW is part of work. And now multiply. Multiplication tables must be mastered in order for one to excel in mathematics. So we say 31 times 2, 24. So I've got a 2-digit numerator to be multiplied by, and therefore we deal with one before the other. By saying 4 times 1, you get 4. 4 times 3, you get 12. So far dealt with 4, so do we go to 2. 2 times 1, you get 2. This 2 must be written under this very 2 that you are multiplying. Say 2 times 1, get a 2. 2 times 3, 1 gets 6. Remember, not write this 2 here. Write it under this number you are using to multiply. I repeat. First multiply 4 by the whole 31 before you resort to multiplication by 2. So therefore, we start 4 times 1, you get 4. 4 times 3, you get 12. Then you go to 2. 2 times 1, you get 2. And then 2 times 3, 1 attains 6. And here you are going to add. Put a plus sign of addition and then add. Remember not to put anything like a 0 here. Leave it like that. And now 4 plus nothing, just write 4. 2 plus 2, you get 4. And 1 plus 6, 1 attains a 7. So 31 times 24, you get 744. And therefore, 31 days are equivalent to 744 hours. In that way, we shall have learned how to convert from days to hours, as opposed to number 3, which goes the other way around, and so does it read. Convert 240 hours to days. Convert 240 hours to days. In this way, we are converting hours to days. Then we state the other way around. Say 24 hours are equivalent to 1 day. That's a fact which you must know, without which you will not answer. You say 24 hours is equal to 1 day. What about the say 240 hours? This time around, you are going to divide by the fact. That's 240 divided by 24. Since you have got a common 24, this is very easy to divide. So you divide by 24. You say 24 divided by 24 is 1. And this 24 alone, please, 24 alone by 24 you get 1. 0 divided by 24, you get a 0, thereby getting 10. And therefore, 240 hours are equivalent to 10 days. In so doing, we'll have learned how to convert, that is hours to days, and then days to hours, like it was in number 2. Then we shall go to example number 4 today. Like I said, every example is different from the other, and therefore it answers a particular activity as far as the work you have is concerned. So look at number 4 example, which reads, find how many minutes are in 4 hours. Find how many minutes are in 4 hours. So then, you are being instructed to convert hours to minutes. You must look at, or having mastered, how many minutes make an hour. And then you say 1 hour is equivalent to 60 minutes. What about the said 4 hours in the question? Since 1 has or contains 60 minutes, what about 4? They are going to multiply, they are going to accumulate. So therefore, you multiply 4 by the fact 60 minute duration, 1 hour, thereby writing 4 times 60 means, where we know that table 6 says 4 times 6, 4 times 6, 4 times 6 is 24. So do you write 0 to make 240 minutes? So 4 hours contain 240 minutes. In that way, you have learned how to convert hours to minutes, and then you answer that particular task given to you that asks you to convert hours to minutes. Then we shall look at example number 5 today. It reads, Tom took 240 minutes riding a bicycle. Tom took 480 minutes riding a bicycle. Then the question reads, how many hours did he ride it? How many hours did he ride it? There's a tendency of children fearing, or learners fearing, the one-day questions. This is the same as converting 480 minutes to hours. Remember, in number 4, we're converting hours to minutes, and now vice versa. That is minutes to hours. So when somebody or one sees the lengthy statements like this, they tend to doze off, thereby losing marks, not knowing that the question is as converting minutes to hours. So do you state and say minutes to hours, and state 60 minutes make an hour? What about 480 minutes? You are going to divide 480 by 60 and then name them hours like it is here. And now, when you've got zeros, either way, that's up and down. What you do is to cancel off the number of zeros that they share. Here I've got 1 0 and 1 0 as well. So we shall cancel off this 0 and this 0, And the action of cancellation of those zeros is actually division by 10. So we divide 480 by 10, remain with 48, and 60 by 10, remain with 6. Now, we have 48 divided by 6, and now table 6 works. One must know table 6, where what is to be multiplied by 6 for 1 to get 48. You must know 1 times 6 is 6, 2 times 6, 1 gets 12, 3 times 6, that is 18, 4 times 6, that is 24, 5 times 6, that's 30, then 6 times 6, that's 36, then 7 times 6, 1 gets 42, and then 8 times 6, 1 gets 48. Now that you have got 48, since we know 8 times 6 is 48, then we can divide 48 by 6 and get 8. So we say 6 by 6 you get 1, and 48 divided by 6 you get 8. And therefore 480 means equivalent to 8 hours. So this Tom took 8 hours riding on this bicycle. In that way, you will have learned how to convert from minutes to hours, and then for the number before, it was hours to minutes. So any piece of work that's given to you concerning those two, you will be able to answer it accordingly. Before we turn to example 6 today, which asks us to work out the following. So part A reads, of both hours and minutes, you are going to add hours and minutes like we did in P3, which will introduce us to another example, and then we answer accordingly. So you are going to add hours and minutes, and these are 2 hours 40 minutes plus 3 hours and 30 minutes. One must know how many minutes make an hour, like we said. 60 minutes make an hour. So given a number like this, one must not just add and say 0 plus 0, 0, 4 plus 3, 7, and rise to 70. We cannot attain 70 minutes past the hour. No, it will never happen, and never will it be in existence. So what we do is to first add a mere section to ascertain or to find out whether it makes 60. Any 60-minute duration makes an hour, and you remain with minutes that actually remain when you actually subtract or divide. So first add 40 and 30 and see whether it is a 60-minute duration which you will convert to an hour. So do we add inside work here 40 plus 30, 1 gets to 70, which must never be written here because it has crossed the boundary of 60. Like we said, 60 minutes make an hour. There is no way you can say 70 minutes past the hour. So what do? We then subtract off a 60-minute duration and then regroup it to the hours section. So sometimes you say you carry as if you put it on the head, but actually regroup. Regroup the 60-minute duration to the hour section. If you have to carry, then we say we carry 1 hour to the hour section. But actually it's regrouping. You get 70 minus 60, and actually before you actually subtract, write this 1 hour here, and then subtract. So 0 minus 0, 1, 7 minus 6, you get 10. These are 10 means when 60 is off. That one means 1 full 60 and 10 remains in that section. So meaning 70 minutes make 1 hour and 10 minutes. So under means we have remained with 10, write it under means here, and then remember I already regrouped or carried the 1 hour, then add all the hours you have here. Say 1 plus 2 is a 3, 3 plus 3 is a 6, thereby getting 6 hours and 10 minutes, as opposed to 5 hours and 70 minutes. If one just added directly, he would get 70 here and 5, which would be rendered wrong. Please always add the nearest alone to see whether they make 60. As soon as they reach 60, you have to do what I've done, meaning subtract to see what remains here. Remember to regroup or carry if you have to word carrying, but the word is actually regrouping that subtracted 60. When do we do this? We do this only if we have got means reaching or making 60. If they were less than 60, we would write directly. But here, being that we've got 70, which 70 is more than 60, you have subtract off a 60 minute duration and regroup it as now, and then remain means that you write under means and then add accordingly, thereby getting 6 hours and 10 minutes today. What about part B that tells us to subtract hours from hours and minutes? Subtract hours and minutes. So here I've got hours and minutes, 3 hours 32 minutes minus 1 hour, 11 minutes. Now we are going to subtract. Now I've got 32 minutes minus 11 minutes. The fact being that 32 is greater than 11, then we subtract normally. That is 2 minus 1 is a 1, 3 minus 1, 1 gets a 2. Thereby remaining 21 minutes on the next section. And this is 3 hours minus 1 hour, getting 2 hours. So the answer is 2 hours and 21 minutes. You are advised not to write it outside, leave it within the formation of this. Don't write out here that 2 hours, 21 minutes. No, they are already under those two categories of hours and minutes, so leave it as 221. To be reading well, whoever comes will know these are hours, these are minutes. So this one was just direct. You could just subtract. So any piece of work that concerns this can then be done. Before we go to example number 7 that reads, a car left Jinja for Iganga at 2:45 p.m. and reached there at 3:55 p.m. A car left Jinja for Iganga at 2:45 p.m. and reached there at 3:55 p.m. Then the question reads, how long did the journey take? How long did the journey take? Now, you must state that duration is equal to ending time minus starting time. Duration is the same as time taken on the way equals ending time minus starting time. Now I've seen that somebody reached Iganga at 3:55 p.m. That is the ending time. Then starting time of the journey, that is leaving Jinja at 2:45 p.m. So you are going to use the same idea for the number before and subtract. You know, the 2 are hours, the 45 are minutes, the 3 are hours, the 55 are minutes. So we are using this idea in B, where we subtract hours and minutes. So right here, hours, minutes. So when did it reach, or when did the car reach that Iganga? That's 3:55, then minus the 2:45. And now, before you subtract, look at the upper minutes as opposed to the down ones. So we've got 55 minutes minus 45. And the fact being that 45 is less than 55, that calls for normal subtraction. So you say 5 minus 5 is a 0, then 5 minus 4 is a 1, then go to our section, and that is 3 minus 2 you get 1. Therefore, that car took 1 hour and 10 minutes to travel all the way from Jinja to Iganga. In that way, you have used this idea of subtracting hours and minutes to answer this question. That's why, anyway, I gave you this example which you had earlier on done in the previous class to lead us to number 7. And the work is lessened. So it took 1 hour and 10 minutes to travel from Jinja to Iganga. But all in all, one must know how to subtract hours and minutes to answer that question. Now, the last example today reads, that's example number 8. A meeting started at 9:23 a.m. and ended at 10:40 a.m. Meeting started at 9:23 a.m. and ended at 10:40 a.m. Then the main question says, for how long was the meeting held? You will also tell how long the meeting was held by using the same formula that says duration equals ending time minus starting time. Duration is equal to ending time minus starting time. You are advised to write it in full, other than writing ET, which abbreviation is not actually recognized in English. Please write ending time as opposed to ET. Write ending time in full, then minus starting time in full, other than saying ET minus ST. Please write in full, like they are here. Write duration equals ending time minus starting time. The same idea is used here in subtraction of hours and minutes. So also write hours means when the meeting ends, that's 10:40, right here 10:40, and when it started, that's 9:23 a.m. right here 9:23, and then do subtract and draw these lines that signify show equals, and now go to 40 minus 23, 40 being greater than 23, we subtract normally and then subtract. So under ones you have 0 and 3, so 0 minus 3 is only possible after bottom. Let you be helped by P.4 by giving you only 1 and remaining 3, bring it here as a 10. So now 10 minus 3 gets 7, 3 minus 2 get 1, and then the hours section I've got 10 hours minus 9 hours, thereby remaining only 1, and therefore conclude the meeting took 1 hour and 17 minutes. Question is, how long did the meeting last, or for how long was the meeting held? So the meeting was held for 1 hour and 17 minutes. In that way, one will be able to answer. The question is concerning those pieces of exercises. They are different in nature, each is different from the other. So given that there are 8, these are 8 different kinds of exercises whose examples are given here. Please answer accordingly and be responsible person now and later, after here. So therefore, I am teacher Katimbo Richard that has taken you through all those examples. For more information about this or about mathematics in general, you call the same teacher Katimbo on 0776 251655. Say call the same teacher Katimbo on 0776 251655. Alternatively, you can use 075 72 33 066. I repeat, 07572 33